Good evening, welcome back to the channel. Stephen Howson. Tonight we're talking about Rasmus Højlund and it being over, and I am devastated. I don't know about you lot. Anyway, so as things stand today, the structure of Rasmus Højlund's move from United to Napoli is really, really clear. Very important to separate the reality from the transfer window noise, including Romano's recent reporting that relationship is cooling. Napoli signed Hojlund on a season-long loan at the start of this season. The deal was not just a loan. It was agreed as a loan with a conditional obligation to buy, meaning that the option becomes mandatory if certain specific conditions are met. Now, the framework is as follows: a €6 million fee paid for a loan fee, a permanent... Oh, it's doing that bloody thing again, isn't it, where it does the thumbs up. A €6 million loan fee, permanent transfer fee in the region of 44 to 45 million euros. By the way, whoever negotiated that is a genius. A total package close to 50 million euros, and United also retain a percentage of sell-on as well, which is sensational. The key activation obligation is Napoli qualifying for the Champions League. That is a primary trigger that has consistently been reported. There has been some mention in the Italian reporting of some other clauses linked to appearances, but the Champions League qualification seems like it's the decisive one. If Napoli finish in a Champions League position, the obligation to buy becomes automatic. They don't get a choice at that point, and the transfer converts into a permanent deal. And this is where the Romano report saying it's over needs a little bit of context. Romano and others are saying that relationship between Hojlund and Napoli isn't working, but that doesn't void the contract. Unless Napoli fail to qualify for the Champions League or the clubs renegotiate the terms, that obligation still stands from a legal perspective. So in other words, whether he's playing crap, whether there's dissatisfaction, whether he wants to move somewhere else or whatever, Napoli have to buy him. The obligation is triggered legally. He signs a long-term Napoli contract, reportedly 5 years. There's a high release clause expected to be inserted, and United receive the full agree fee and close the book on him. Game over. From United's perspective, that's why there's very little concern about it. Napoli qualify for the Champions League, United get 50 mil in the bank. Bush. If Napoli do fail to qualify, then he returns and United have still got an asset that you might be able to sell in a different market. That's why the wider narrative looks a little bit iffy. If Napoli sour on the deal, contract structure means United are sound. We're not dependent on vibes, form, media sentiment, or only on Napoli's league finish. So in short, obligation exists, Champions League qualification activates it, Romano's reporting talks about sporting doubt, not the contractual collapse, and United are covered either way, I think. So that's the reality of it. And I think as it stands at the moment, they are in fourth place. It's tight. There's a fair few teams, Como, Juventus, that could catch them. But you would expect Napoli with... I'd expect Napoli to make sure that they're in the qualifications places. It's 4 spots for Italy this year. So if the season was to end as it is right now, he's gone. Simple as that. I would mind a little bit more security, though, and make sure he actually goes. But that's that. Dan Berry says, whoever did the deal to sell him did very well by the sounds of it. I totally agree. Amaya says, imagine they purposely did fuck off Champions League. Surely no one's going to want to do that. Surely. Robin says, out of curiosity, how did the obligation for Sancho fall through for Chelsea? By this, I mean paying the fee for them to get out of it. Oh, I don't know, actually. It's a good point. Because, yeah, there was obviously a penalty in there that they could pay 5 million and not have to buy him. And they were like, yep, there's the 5 million. Off you go. Kilkenny Devil says, evening, Steve. How good has it been watching the Arsenal tears all week? Somehow forgot troops existed, and my God, that was glorious. I have seen so many Arsenal fans this week coming out with some utter garbage. It's quite funny. Two says, we're allergic to having bench/backup players. I don't think we are, but I just don't think there's any bonus to having Rasmus Højlund. I just don't think he's good enough to top and bottom. Matthew Coward says, Waz's analysis is absolutely head and shoulders above most pundits. Seems like he gives a fuck and a proper football brain. Like I said a while ago, it's not worked out for him as a manager, but the desperation in him is because he wants to work in the game. It's quite clear for me that. Shay says, I'll pay for Hojlund after my 18-fold lands tonight. Malcolm says, good evening, Steve. Carl says, Arsenal heads are falling all the way off. Yep, they are. And that tells me they kind of still fear it, I think. I think they still sort of expect that they're going to bottle it. And they can say, oh, they're in a different position and blah, blah, blah. But I actually think that they, deep down, they understand that they are more than capable of widging this right up. A fool named Huggy says he's gone. Napoli will qualify for the Champions League. I believe they will too as well. Ciro says, evening, Fulham is our biggest test. I think a lot of us think the same. I absolutely agree. I think Fulham's going to be really interesting for several reasons, but this is absolutely one of them for sure. Steve Harris says, do we work out what happens if we do a thumb down? Can't see. Still not doing it for the thumbs up. No. It just does it when it wants. Really annoying. Nice one. Deadbug says, evening, any chance at some point of doing a scout report on Mighty? Yeah, after we were linked with him today, we were about to do it. And then obviously it got kiboshed, so it got paused. Kilkenny says, the video on Sky Bias this afternoon was spot on. I'm glad it's finally been highlighted. Gary Neville's been doing my head in for 2 years now. I think a lot of you feel the same way about that, don't they? Have you watched it? Do you agree? Let me know in the comments. Gav says, Sesko's movement for Cunha's goal versus Rasmus' lack of movement. This is what I'm talking about. People talk about, oh, he didn't get the service and blah, blah, blah. Right, okay, well, why is Sesko getting the service? And why, now he's playing with Kevin De Bruyne, who apparently is amazing, why is he still only having the same amount of shots per game as he was when he was at United? Surely with all this extra service he's getting, surely he should be getting way more shots. Do I know Mike Phoenix? No. Colin says, found myself rewatching the watch-along of the Arsenal. It occurred to me on a regular watch-along highlights vid might work. Love the content. We used to do one back in the full-time Devils days when it was producer Chris. I think they used to do like a real short sort of clip that went out on Facebook. I don't think there's much rewatching value in watch-alongs. Maybe there is when we win. Maybe we just had so many years of it not being worth doing. Maybe it's worth doing if and when we win. Only WS says, not sure if you've spoken about it already, but do I think Shea Lacey is ready to replace Dorgu in the team? And if not, who? Well, no, but I think he'll probably find himself on a bench, I think, Shea, because there's not many that have got that sort of vertically. So, yeah, I think he probably will. Zach says, yeah, Sky, especially Keane, have been even more bitter. We are winning. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy. I wonder if it'll flip. I wonder what will happen if we did win the league. Would they all be like, well, you were shit at the start of the season? Imagine. Alex says, Hojlund wanted to wrestle fullbacks instead of actually making intelligent runs. I mean, I said it all last season, didn't I? Like, you're watching him and you're going, what is he doing? What is he actually doing? Like, you can just decide not to engage in this bullshit with centre-halves, but he chose not to. Two says, isn't De Bruyne injured? I'm talking about earlier in the season, though. He was still only having the same amount of shots when he was playing with De Bruyne. And even that was when he was, he was being assisted by De Bruyne, and people were like, oh, look, this is what happens. And you're like, well, he's still only getting the same amount of shots. Do I think we're eyeing up Sterling now? His contract's terminated at Chelsea. I saw that he was going to Arsenal. Isn't Sterling a United fan? I'm sure I've seen that somewhere, I don't know how true it is, but I'm sure I've seen that he was a United fan. If we win the league, Roy will probably say, what does that prove? You're probably right. And how sad's that? Cunha being a sub would give us more, so Shea Lacey starting next match will be good. What? No, Cunha's starting the next game, mate. Mark my words. I will be shooketh if he doesn't start Cunha in the next game. Absolutely shooketh. Carl says, I meant to mention before, preview of the Arsenal game was unbelievably accurate. It was. Apart from, I think I was about 4 minutes out with our first goal, right? Not bad, eh? It's almost like I do my own work, innit? Lezan Plays says, Steve, I want to get some signed United shirts for my game room. Is it worth paying 800 quid each, or is there a better way? Listen, I've seen people... I probably wouldn't buy one of those, put it that way. I've seen people sign those shirts. and then sell them. I think it's absolutely abhorrent to do it. If you're just buying it off some random, don't necessarily trust them. I think it would mean so much more, and it's 1,000,000% harder, admittedly, it's 1,000,000% harder. Get them signed yourself. Be there when they did it, and then you're having that piece of signed memorabilia is like, oh yeah, I remember when he did that. That's a little bit different. Or if you can do it with, something that's a bit more of a known entity. When was it? I want to say about 2000. Shit. When did Ricky Hatton fight in Vegas? Was it Mayweather in Vegas? About 2005, maybe? No, a bit later, 7, something like that. My uncle took over. It'd be funny to ask Rio about this, actually. My uncle took over a couple of signed shirts off Rio to Extreme Couture in Las Vegas to swap for some Randy Couture signed shorts. So that's one way of getting decently signed stuff. But, there's not many people that have got that access, obviously. Neil says, Steve can't stand Neville, Keane, and the overlap. The commentary analysis is shocking. So anti-United sentiment. Keane is so better at United being overlooked for roles. It could be that, Steve Harris says, I'll get you a signed Paddock Howson shirt for 700 quid. Carl says, if the certificate's not coming with if the signature's not coming with a certificate, it's not worth what you paid for it. But what does a certificate mean? Like, if they're prepared to blag a signature, they're prepared to blag a fucking certificate of authentication, isn't it? It's not notarized. It's not done by the FBI that says it's legit, is it? Notanin says, I only see Rooney actually advocating for United in punditry. He offers his opinion in public without bashing the team or players. Lazan says, valid point. There's a shop in Trafford Centre called Stars and Legends that sells a lot. Thanks. Yeah, there is. And don't you think they'd be incentivised? I'm not saying that these guys are definitely doing it, but I wouldn't trust them, put it that way. Maybe there's some doing it legit, maybe there's some doing it blagging, but yeah, I'm not sure. Did Robert De Niro really sign that? Did he? Was you there when he did? I don't know if you was. Oh, you took one photo, did you? And he signed 75,000 shirts. Okay, cool. Dedai says, did I hear you liked Auburn? There's an Auburn parallel to the last 2 United games. 2013, the miracle at Jordan Hare versus Georgia, followed by the kick 6 versus Alabama. Enjoy the vibes. Oh. How long can I keep a grudge? Evidently not as long as Roy Keane. AJ says, who does more for the team? Nani, Carrick and RVP, or Valencia, Keane and Rooney? Do you know what, mate? I'll take the B team. Whichever you want first, I'll do second, because both of those would be pretty good, wouldn't they? Probably prime Valencia, Keane and Rooney. Fucking hell. Kilkenny says, was it ever discovered what was up with De Ligt? Yes, he's back. Want to see him and Leisha as a pair, I think it'd be meant. I absolutely agree with you. I do too. Gavin Simpson says, I got a fake one, mate. What? De Niro thing? Amir says, I sent Jay something for Paddock on his mail. Which mail of yours should I send it to? See the one on my socials. The overlap should be called the irrelevant. Should be called the moan. Red Flash says, finally said something about our legends in India. Every Arsenal fan is missing since Sunday. Everyone is worried. Isn't there some sort of virus kicking about in... This isn't a joke, by the way. This is a serious one. Isn't that the new reason that we're all getting grounded? Isn't that just kicked off in India? Or have I imagined that? Francis says, Roy can't handle that Carrick took the number 16. Was a great centre mid after he left, plus the grudge with Ferguson after being ejected. So bitter. It feels like it, doesn't it? Fern says, is Euro injured? I'm not aware of that if he is. 10 Big Hike says, buzzing, United back-to-back wins. Just got my ticket to Canada's opening World Cup match for the equivalent of 47 quid. Well played. Good 2 week. Yeah, well done, man. The Disney Channel says, when we win the league, Keane will say Carrick shouldn't get the job. Well, he already said that if he wins all 17, he still shouldn't get the job. You need a bigger and better manager. And you're like, well, how are you getting a better manager if you just won 17 games out of 17? Would I ever consider making some retrospective profile videos on 2013 players that we never heard of to give my opinion on? Who have you not heard of? Hey, everybody, this is a young chap by the name of Cristiano Ronaldo. Lars says, let's say sometimes you can hear a team being smashed by pundits due to poor ball possession, even though they win. They score first and then sit back, even though they do it comfortably. Andorra says, hello, Steve from Mississippi. Hello. I'm sure you're not having a good time right now. Seems like it's all going off in Mississippi. Amir says, I was reading Stephen King's The Stand and it's an 80s version of The Pandemic. Nice. What score is it going to be on Sunday with Fulham? I'm hoping 3-0. How do I join Rio's broadcast group, says Jahid. Go on either the Rio Ferdinand Presents Instagram account, it's either on there or it's on the other one. Dan United says, you read it wrong, for fuck's sake. What have I read wrong? What has changed team-wise from the last time Carrick was manager at United? Did the ceiling get higher or the floor get higher of the team? Probably the floor. No chance of Carrick getting Rio in to help Euro out in heaven. I don't know. PG on the touchline says, Aiden Heaven was playing so good, but he's now our 5th choice after Delict comes back. Would be 6th. Eh? No, he's not. I don't think he is anyway. Jay says, Maguire's contract is up at the end of June. Do I think the United will offer him a new contract? I think they will offer him, yeah. I think they will. The Grim Commoner says, imagine if Carrick is around for Kai Rooney. I'm looking forward to Lacey making more appearances on young Rooney, Chudo and Obi and Sesko up front with him. Yeah, I think it's going to be very difficult for young Rooney. I mean, if he's even half as good as his dad, he's going to be an international. Which question have I read wrong here? Would I consider making some retrospective profile on pre-2013 players that we've never heard of to give your opinion on? All right, what? Like who? Who have you not heard of? Have we got a strike for the dating game yet? We haven't got fucking anybody for the dating game yet. We are fucking Strugglesville, Tennessee for the dating game on Saturday. I did look at calling it, to be honest. You're allowed 3 strikes, but they've changed the rules. It's no longer 48 hours for a strike. It's 21 days. Oh, yeah, cheers, lads. In 3 weeks, all my lads are going to have the shit, so can I call that game off? All right, nice one, yeah. Mogan says, you are not honest with the runs. Some of his best capabilities was the runs in the channel. Who? Hojlund. You're not being fucking honest, mate, because the fucker didn't run. He stood there doing jiu-jitsu with centre-halves in the middle of the fucking pitch. I seen it. Gav says, finally seeing the benefit of having 1 game a week with more time on the training pitch. Was the problem Amarin or his training staff? Ultimately, it's probably a combination of both, wasn't it? What's my thoughts on the new United Stone Roses collaboration? I like it. If we win 3-0 on Sunday, will I be doing somersaults in the... I love the way you spelled somersaults. In the park? Probably not, no. I've never been able to do a somersault. I don't think at 42 I'm pulling my first one off. Steve Harris says, I've got a mad idea for a temporary number 9. I'll message you later. Gary says, when he did run, he ran in a straight line. He did. He actually did. He did. His movement in the box was fucking like a train. It was shit. Mogan says, he did, Steve. You must have been blind. Does not matter how much you barber me. Mate, he fucking didn't run. He didn't run. And maybe he did do his best work in the channel, okay, but he still didn't do anywhere near enough of it. I fucking watched it. If you're not seeing it, I don't know what to say to you. Like, he didn't fucking move. He was far too busy getting handsy with centre-halves. This is facts. It's not even up for debate. It's, like, demonstrable. And even if he didn't, he still couldn't get anywhere near enough shots off. Like, Sesko's getting, like, 3 times the fucking shots off that he was getting off. Tem Big Hike says, seeing Carrick subbing on attackers when tied with the top team in the league, chef's kiss, Ruben would have swapped centre-halves. Yeah, he would have. We're not even seeing centre-half subs, are we? What's going on? And his stats at Napoli aren't that great either, says Navarro. Correct. Gav Bark says, Delo had better runs than him. That's not even a joke. Heidegraf says, will Xerxes go? He's maybe our third striker now. Fee and Mateta for Xerxes. I don't think we're getting anyone in January, unfortunately. I've been asking the question, and unfortunately the answer is no. Am I watching the Champions League tonight? I will be. I haven't selected my game yet. What? Shall we have a look? Let's choose together. I'd not even thought about it, to be honest. Let's see what games are on and let's see what everyone else is into. Athletic Sporting, there we go, for an absolute hipster classic of a game there. That might be the game that I watch. Liverpool versus Karabag. No. Monaco versus Juventus. That's probably a good game. Barcelona Copenhagen. No. Ajax Olympiacos. Not sure. PSG Newcastle. I do like the sound of that one, I'm going to be honest. Dortmund Inter. That would be interesting. Napoli Chelsea. Ooh. Ball bag derby. Bodo Glimt against Atletico. That'll probably be boring. Eintracht Frankfurt versus Tottenham. Leverkusen Villarreal. Arsenal against fucking who? K-Rat. Isn't that an airline? City against Galatasaray at home. Paphos against Slavia Prague. Marseille against Club Brugge. Benfica Real Madrid. Oh, that's not a bad one. PSV against Bayern. Oh shit, I don't know, you know. I'm thinking Benfica Madrid, Napoli Chelsea, PSG Newcastle, or Atletico Sporting. Dortmund Inter. That's my 5. What we saying? What games everybody watching? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? What are you feeling? Am I changing my name to Giddy? It already is. Sorry. Hojlund hasn't been good there anyway. Good riddance. PSG Newcastle says user. Napoli Chelsea says Andorra's. Can't believe we're not even raiding Arsenal's academy again. I know, it's a hobby, isn't it, at this point. Bayern Deer made better runs than Hojlund. Finally managed to stay awake for Steve's live after months. What's the most random professional game I've ever watched live? In person? I found myself at Ludogorets and CSK Sofia once. That was pretty random. Red Flash says, not that I know what the fuck, by the way. One fan walked 50 kilometres because he said he'll do it if we beat Arsenal. Ish Kera is his YouTube, 40k subs. Would love a shout out from you. Well, fair play, mate. Well done. Lots of people saying that they're going to watch PSG, Newcastle, Dortmund Inter. I think that one could be a good one. Have I seen that PAOK crash? Looks horrifying. No, what? What's happened with PAOK? Not Benfica, they fell off hard. John Aldino says, love seeing the Scousers being shit, but could never sit through a game. They'll win tonight anyway. What would I prefer? A manager that for United that is more pragmatist, adapting to each team, or one that sticks to his style of play and possession focused? What would Ineos choose? I don't know. I would rather one that sticks to Manchester United and tries to fucking win games. And I mean, take the game to people, and neither of those two things are any of them. Do I play cricket? Fuck no. No. Would I give Slabhead a new contract? I would, on reduced terms. Monaco Juventus for me, says Seth. Hydrograph says United should bring back our set piece coach. He made our set piece threatening. I agree. Yeah, that's Carlos. Did I see Max Dowman like Dogger's post from the weekend? Oh, they're going to hammer him. Arsenal fans love it, don't they? Hash says, anyone mentioning Sterling, just stop. Choose the one with the most on the line. Which is the one with the most on the line? Wonderworld says, you watch Ludogorets CSKA Sofia. What was I doing in Bulgaria? I was covering the MMA Amateur World Championships in Sofia, and there was a game on, so, you know me, I went and watched the game. And I sat in the VIP for £4. By the way, that is a fucking shithole of a stadium. Super chat there from Malcolm says, Steve, have a drink on me Sunday. Much appreciated, our kid. Accuracy says, thanks for calling out Keane. As an Irish United fan, I can't stand him now. Heartbreaking. Has anybody seen Saipan? Do I have to go to the cinema to watch it, or is it only on any streaming sites yet? Because I do want to watch it, let's be honest. Dan says, thoughts on the Rob O'Neill stuff about coming clean about lying? I watched the pod, and I'm going to be honest, I find him very fucking hard to listen to because he speaks so fast, it reeks of being inauthentic, or am I getting a wrong read on that? I was a little bit disappointed with Andy, because I've seen Andy talking about he actually knows what happened. I mean, he was, you know, Dev Group, so he fucking knows, doesn't he? He knows everything, I'm sure. So why are you sat there as a neutral, like, oh, so tell me what happened, rather than like, I fucking know what happened, and why are you chatting shit? Like, I thought he could have stuck it on him a little bit harder. Dawson James McAvoy is an actor. He peaked at Shameless. Emmett says, wait, who was lying about what? Rob O'Neill wrote a book saying that he shot bin Laden. That's kind of accurate, but he makes it out like only he shot bin Laden. And that's not what happened. By all accounts, he was like third or fourth guy through the room. I mean, look, all of us, me included in this, have not done anything like what he's done as an operator. Why he felt the need to write the book that he wrote in the manner that he wrote it, I don't know. His career was pretty fucking spectacular, but there's 2 books out there kind of claiming to be the shooter, but, well, actually, Matt Bissonnette's Mark Owen, I think he goes by, doesn't, but, yeah, it's a bit weird. Hojlund is good, just poorly managed and rushed. Wrong, he's not good. He's just not good. Steve says, I went to FC Tirana, an Albanian Premier League game. That's pretty good. 3 lads from Chesterfield spun their heads out. I believe we've got 4 lads from Switzerland coming to watch Paddock this weekend. That's pretty fucking random ass, isn't it? Has DJ ever mentioned anything about the situation when I've been with him? I assume not, but still. No. DJ said some mad shit, but no, he's not said it on air, so it ain't my fucking place to say it on air either. Not about that, not about the bin Laden stuff, about other stuff. But, you know, that's another fucking career that's just absolutely fucking Hollywood, innit? But yeah. Emmett says, Mark Bowden wrote a book called The Finish. It talks about the whole bin Laden operation went down, worth the read. Oh, I'll have a look at that. How come I say my military career was bang average? Because it fucking was, mate. Like, yeah, I did 3 operational tours. So did a lot of fucking people. Like, there's nothing special about my army career in the slightest. I did it. I left. I'm glad I did it. But it was bang average. Like, you know, put it this way. I shan't be writing a book about the exploits of a fucking, you know, a young Lance Corporal from Manchester. It might sell about 4 or 5 copies and they'll probably all be my mum. Do I think Arsenal fans regret not getting Sesko, especially seeing how Gyökeres performed on Sunday? Hey, he's had 3 shots in the last 3 months or something, right? He's nearly there. Dan says, I think O'Neill was actually DJ's team leader at one stage. I think they have like a draft thing when you pass green team, i.e. Dev Group selection, and I'm pretty sure they've talked about that Rob O'Neill actually selected DJ from how well he did on the selection for green team. That's nuts, isn't it? Yeah. Did Howson reject an interview? No. Look, he's fucking garbage. Top and bottom of it. Like, the problem with it is, listen, people said the same thing about Ashley Young. People used to say the same thing about Luke Shaw. I just fucking speak honestly about all players that I see. And then you'll get some people go, well, actually, he's fucking class. Say what he did with Ashley Young. Actually, Ashley Young's class. No, he's not. He's fucking arse. Right? Same with Fellaini. No, he's not. He's fucking arse. People need to start being fucking honest about some of the players at this football club. If I have to sign any replacement for Bruno, who would I pick, Palmer or Firmin? Probably neither. Josh Taylor says, bang average in what sense? Mate, isn't it? It was fucking bang average. Watch you a lot, but don't feel like you've spoken a lot about what you got up to. Because there's not a lot to get up to, right? That's it. I didn't get fucking hurt in a major way. I had a couple of injuries, but nothing majorly significant. Got fucking rocketed and shot at a hell of a lot. It's pretty fucking bang average. Do you know what I mean? There's probably 10,000 people with the same fucking dits that I've got. They're not fucking spectacular, and I wouldn't fucking make them out to be. Bang average. Can we talk about Ineos transfer success rate? I would say that they didn't buy many duds at the moment. Really high success rate with the players they bought. I mean, what's the worst one we've got? Xerxes, maybe? Prime Matter or Prime Ericsson? Both very good, you know. Both very good players. People love some shit players and then we'll chat waffle about Bruno, says Balder. Correct. Tom says, yeah, but Fellaini's scores were on the pitch. They got to count for something. Yeah, but that's the problem is, like, he did score some goals, but he was fucking shit. Tommy says, can't do an hour video on a Thunderbox. Yeah. I mean, I was working on some pretty fucking gnarly days. You know, the recovery of the body of Matthew Ford with the Apaches. I was working that day. I was working when Kajaki went off. I was in the ops room for that. But, you know, ultimately, there was a lot of fucking people did the same sort of stuff. Like, I wasn't Special Forces. I was a fucking regular soldier. And that's it. It is what it is. I really enjoy the stuff that I do in the military now. You know, I find myself in a fortunate position because of this following that I've got, thanks to you guys, that the army are really keen to, you know, work with me, and I can still give it like an honest perspective because, you know, I like the job. I left a little bit early, if anything, but, you know, I'm not bitter about any of my service in any ways. You know, it is what it is. Scott says, bang average is the way forward, mate. I learnt a long time ago, even on courses, a C's a P. Eh? Don't get that. You think we can qualify for next season? Yeah, I do. I can see Leeds sticking it on Arsenal, says Rocksteady. I tend to agree a little bit. Lazan says, I worked at Donington last week doing the air conditioning. It feels surreal seeing jets and tanks and stuff. Sam says, am I off to join Rene coaching in the Middle East? You had me Googling Saudi, etc., needing managers and coaches, etc. What's Rene off to? I don't know what Rene's up to. I haven't spoke to Rene. Rob says, let's be honest, the new adverts for the armed forces are much better than a year or so ago. Oh, a C is a pass. Got you. Have you all seen the video? I mean, it's done pretty decent on views, but have you all seen the video that I did on IRL? Where I did a down the range with one Lanks. We've shot way more. There's way more videos to come out just from that single day. And hopefully we're going to get to continue to do some more. You know, it's one of them, innit? I enjoy it. We'll see where it goes. What do I think happening with Garnacho's career? I don't really fucking care, because the guy's a widge. Ugarte is the worst signing. I would say Xerxes had better moments. They've both been pretty bang average, haven't they? Actually, they've been worse. He's gone as assistant coach for Iraq. Oh shit, no, I didn't know that. No, I'm not doing that. Number 9 says, currently dying on the Stairmaster. Any motivational tips to get me through the next 7 minutes? It's fucking 7 minutes. Man up and get it fucking done. How about that? Kev says, I'm coming to the Fulham game at weekend. First time in Manchester in ages. Where's the best place to get a good curry? Mate, you can't go wrong. Oh, what's the gaff in Manchester? Let me just fucking... I'll text the missus for you. I can't remember the name of it. There's a gaff that we went to that's absolutely belting. Go Curry Mile. They don't exist on the Curry Mile if they're shit. Right, see if the missus can reply. Kilkenny says, on transfers, I think we get Baleba and Hope Wharton recognises he will probably start for us. Anderson will go to City. Ooh. I'd love Anderson, I would. I would love Anderson. Harry Potter says, who's DJ? What's the convo about? We were talking about DJ Shipley, one of the more famous Navy SEALs. He wasn't on the Bin Laden raid, but that was his squadron that did the Bin Laden raid. And one of the guys that was on the Bin Laden raid, and I mean, that's enough, isn't it, man? Being on that raid would have been pretty fucking gnarly. There's a couple of people who wrote books that have got conflicting reports, and one of them came out the other day and admitted that they lied in their book and the debrief about it. I've had a professional footballer reach out to me because of my YouTube video. Oh, yeah. Quite a few. My missus says, for a curry in Manchester, Mowgli Curry Mile. Mowgli. Mowgli. That's the one. Belter. Go the Curry Mile one, not the one in the Triangle. The one in the Triangle is a little bit posh and actually not that good. The one in Curry Mile is a bit of a shithole as a venue, but the curry is fucking... Martin says, one of those things I said on the walks was stack the wins early, mate. That was a light bulb moment. And then up at 5 every day, getting those things done. Cheers for that. Mate, it's just the closest thing to a philosophy I've got is momentum. Momentum is everything. Literally every single fucking aspect of life, you need momentum. You got to turn it around. Life is a fucking oil tanker. You go in the wrong direction, you can turn this bastard around, but it's going to take so much fucking energy. And once you get going, like, you're getting up at 5 a.m, it's going to suck for a week. There's no two ways around it. It's going to fucking suck. You're going to fall asleep at home at 6 o'clock. Like, it's going to fucking suck. But once you break through that little sort of week or so, it's actually easier. And you'll just find yourself naturally waking up at them times. And then you just stack the wins up. Like, get up early. Get your shit done. Take your supplements. Get your steps in. Get the gym in. Before you know it, it's 8 o'clock and you've fucking stacked up like 5, 6, 7 wins. And the rest of the day can fuck off. It don't matter. You're already fucking winning, man. Ian Houghton says, been to the Posh Moogly and it's good, but still recommend the Royal Nawab. The Grim Commoner says, I watched Lone Survivor starring Mark Wahlberg based on a true story. That's another one with some disputed truth to it. AJ says, genuine question, how much do I, like, remember names? So if one of us met you in the street and said, hi, I'm X on YouTube, would I know who we are? Fucking not a chance. I'm pretty bad with names. There's just too many fucking people. Carrot Goat says, imagine if Carrot put himself in as DAM as the orchestrator 21 would be coming. Family Guy says, Neves, surely a mistake if it's a real rumour. I don't think we get anyone on loan or as a transfer, to be honest. Paqueta back to Flamengo. Lads are wasted potential. 42 million for him was an overpay, says Ferry. What do I really think of Aston Villa? What, as in their chances for this year? I think they'll struggle to put a title challenge on. It's going to... they've probably got as much chance of a title charge as we have, to be honest with you. If not, maybe a touch less. Would I buy Manu Kobe for United? I don't think it's going to happen in January. What do I think about the potential war with the US and Iran? I hope none of it happens, to be honest with you. I hope none of it happens because there's a lot of shit moving around at the moment and it's very easy to see through some of the bollocks narratives that are being put out there. And I don't understand a lot of it. Would I be against a salary cap in the Premier League operating alongside with the FFP / instead of FFP? Feels like United would have a lot less problems in the past with a wage cap in the league. It's illegal, can't do it. And also, some clubs would just fucking circumvent it, I believe. Is beating Fulham a bigger test than City or Arsenal for Carrick? I'd say yes, as we struggle against the mid-table often. I won't say it's a bigger test. But it's certainly an important one. Dan says, reckon I can get DJ or J Cal on a pod? Yes. I mean, both of them have said they would. I mean, DJ fucking offered me to stay at his house if I get over to Virginia Beach. And that's one thing I'm absolutely going to take him up on for sure. What's the weirdest place I've been recognised? It doesn't sound good, this, but it's genuinely everywhere. So it's everywhere I fucking go. What's the weirdest? I don't know what is the weirdest. Probably places in like America where you just don't expect it. When United are in town or the United are playing or something like that, you get it then and you expect it then. But it's like off doing some non-footy shit or something like that. Or yeah, I don't know. Ian says, I watched the Sky Sports video, did 100% agree. Thank you. Keith says, when I was in Afghanistan, did any of a soldier question the point of being there after 9/11? I'll just get on with it. You just get on with it. There was a lot of conversation about, like, what the fuck's going on here? And ultimately, like, what was the fucking point? But, yeah, it's one of them, innit? Restrooms, yeah, restrooms all the fucking time. And I'm not shaking your hand in the toilet, mate. We're not doing that. I'm not taking a picture of you in the shitters either. We're not doing that. Have I been to Belfast? No. Do I think the big test will be how we handle a low block? Yes. I absolutely do. How's dad life? Dad life's cool. It's every day's a fucking school day. But yeah, it is. We're fifth in wage spend at the moment. City spend almost 100 million a year more than us in wages, and that's just what they tell you about. Deadbug says, follow up from the beans on toast talk. No grated cheese on top. Blasphemy. It's going a bit overboard, that, innit? Beans on toast is sound as it is. Tell a funny story from when we was in Afghanistan. They all involve like fucking no. Would I do celebrity SAS? No. I mean, I would, but no. If World War III breaks out, where do you think the ideal place to be living is? Fuck. New Zealand. City's 115 swept under the carpet. Yeah, it is, isn't it? In the professional league, the US, they have pension programs. Does the Premier League have a pension program? Not that I'm aware of, no. Shaw for Dorgu, Mazraoui left back? No, I don't think so. I think it'll just be Cunha in at left wing. Plan on crossing the pond to the US or Canada for the World Cup. I'll buy you a pint. We're in LA for the month. Keith Kelly says, didn't we steal food and drink in Afghanistan? We never got caught, so I'm going to say no. Yeah, we're going to be in LA for the first month, and then I'm back home. So I believe we're going to be traveling around and going to the games, but yeah, at the moment I haven't got like a full itinerary of where and when and all that sort of stuff at the moment. Super Bacon says, Man United fan from Switzerland, have you been to watch a match in person yet? What time of year is the best to visit and watch a match? Anytime you can come, right? People be like, what's the best place in the ground to sit in? It don't matter. Just fucking get in there, right? There's some that are going to be better than others, for sure. But guess what, mate? You ain't picking the fucking ticket. You ain't picking the game, and you ain't picking the fucking ticket. So just fucking get yourself over and try and watch a game. Simple as that. And if it's on a Sunday, come watch Paddock on a Saturday. Make a weekend of it, especially if you're travelling from abroad. Do you know what I mean? Dinosaur says, read a book that explains that Lone Survivor was highly exaggerated. Yeah, by the sounds of it, it was. What's one moment I wish to relive in terms of anything United? Look, it's the fucking 10 days that culminated from the 16th of May 1999 to the 26th of May 1999, isn't it? And that's the only answer to have. Am I going to sign up for another fitness battle with Rio? Yes. Who's the most famous person in my contact list? Well, Rio, probably. How is me going to LA affecting Paddock? It won't, because I'll be there during the World Cup and our season will be over. The lads will start pre-season for a week before I get back. But I believe our season's being delayed by about a month this season because they've changed how many teams are going to be in the league next year. So I think it'll actually work out sound because we start our fucking games in July, which is mental. It means I don't get to go away as often as I'd like in like August when the little one's on. On 6-week holidays. When was the last time I've lost my temper on camera? Oh, I don't know. It fucking happens fairly often, like. Not proper. Balder says, I was 2 weeks when that started, so do I get to relive as an adult or as a newborn? Ooh, yeah. Didn't I have Messi's number? Yeah, I think he's blocked me now. I tried. Are Paddock going up this season or stay in the same league? I think we're so fucking short. We've got a trial game to try and do a bit of recruitment in a couple of weeks, but we're so short on numbers at the moment that we're fucking struggling. But every Paddock game is on YouTube. You can watch it all for free. Usually 3 o'clock or 2 o'clock on a Saturday. I think we'll struggle this year. I really do. But, you know, can't go up every single season, can you? So, consolidate, know what we need to get better on. Got loads of youngsters in the squad. They're all getting a year older. And we'll see who we can do. Who's the nicest pro I've met? Do you know what? Julian Lescott takes a lot of fucking beating. He's an absolute gem of a bloke. Yeah. Beata says, was it Mourinho that made me change my diet and lifestyle? No. People presume that because they see things on camera, but no, I'd started with an operation on my calves and therapy and all sorts of stuff 2-3 years prior to that, so no. Top 3 films. Gladiator. I do like Zero Dark 30, ironically, talking about that. Gotta say, I'm a big fan of Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels. Between Anderson, Wharton and Belabor, which 2 would I choose? I'd go with Anderson and Wharton. Johnny Leach, the super chat, says, evening, mate. Good evening. We Were Soldiers. That's a good one, because it's got Sam Elliott in it, not being the Sam Elliott that we all know. Being the Sergeant Major. Dan Martin says, Black Hawk Down has to be in the top 3. You should all go and DM Ash on Instagram and ask him about Black Hawk Down, because he fucking loves it. Anyway, right, that is it from me. I'm going to go read a bedtime story to the little one. But thank you guys for coming and hanging out tonight. Let's go and all do what we've got to do, and then let's watch a little bit of Champions League. See you in a bit.
Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, 5-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.